good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it may be in your local time zone. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we are here to talk about Congo again. Will be another episode, and today's subject is a corn importer versus a corn exporter. So I'm talking about the import market of what the Congo is doing. The Congo is importing maize, corn from Tanzania, one of its neighboring countries. And what makes that so unusual is what the amount of agriculture, unused, arable land that the Congo has that they are not using, not taking advantage of, that they could be growing more corn and actually exporting corn to their neighbors, and versus the biggest exporters that the Congo now has is uh, metals, copper, uh, cobalt, and things like that. And one of the things that I look at is not only if you had enough corn to export, then people would be living and would not be living in food insecurity in the Congo. So it's kind of, disheartening to think uh, that why is the Congo this way? And for a number of reasons. Number one, Congo does not have a transportation infrastructure in place that would allow them to get corn and other produce from the interior of the country where it can be grown easily and at a cheap price to the bigger cities. So what they're doing is shipping in corn probably by boat, by containers, and so that's how the Congo is really hurting their fall small scale um, farmers. This was brought out about within the last week. I saw an article that where the former first lady of Congo, Madam Kabila, she was talking about that same situation is that people are buying corn because it's cheaper from a neighboring country to the detriment of their own small farmers, and that's really will put the whole agricultural market into a tailspin if you allow cheap products from other countries to come into the Congo, and then therefore, because it's harder and more expensive to get your own corn, then the farmers will stop, you know, trying to grow corn because they can't sell it. So it's one of those situations where this is first evidence that I see that she was right, that we in the Congo, should say we, allowing small scale farmers to be hurt by importing corn, and we should actually be exporting corn because the Congo has more uh, unused arable land that they can be a net exporter of corn and also produce. So it's kind of, and especially with all the situation of food insecurity in the country, there's no reason why uh, we should not be at least growing all the food that we need versus importing. So there's something to that, and it's something for the government to think about. Is that you need to bolster your own farming versus trying to import corn and probably at a cheaper price, uh, unless it's an emergency. But somehow it's, you've started this death spiral where you're going to have to, you know, do both at the same time. You're going to have to import also while you strengthen your local farmers so that they can get uh, more crops to the cities and to feeding people and things like that. So yeah, it was you know I just was surprised that that the Tanzania had they exported um, corn to Congo, China, South Sudan. Uh, you know, uh, they got also got markets that they're being set up into countries like Kenya and different places, and they're going to be a big exporter of corn, which is it's good for the continent. However, for countries like Congo who have not invested in their small farmers, it's a bad sign. So we're going to be exploring this a little bit more, but I just was kind of shocked to see that it was actually taking place. Uh, that that the Congo was actually importing corn from its neighboring countries when they should be actually trying to grow that corn to feed their own people. So that's kind of the what I wanted to say, but it's one of those situations. Congo has the capability, or should have the capability, to be an exporter of corn versus an importer. Thank you very much for stopping by. And if you have comments on that, please leave them in the comment section. And we're going to try to see what is happening and hopefully get the some relief for those small scale farmers who is hurting and not being able to get their corn and stuff to market. Thank you very much.